there are still people who are, not super technology savvy, and that's okay. But if you're going to do the best by the seller, you have to do both traditional marketing and digital marketing. I mean, think about it. How many times a day do you go to Amazon to order something? Or how many times a day are you shopping online somewhere? Maybe it's not Amazon, but maybe it's your favorite retailer. Well, buyers are shopping online too. So buyers are home shopping online. They are looking for their home on Zillow, on Trulia, on Redfin, on Realtor.com. I mean, they are scrolling, trying to find their house. And especially right now, being that we're still in the midst of this pandemic, a lot of people are making buying decisions from other parts of the country without ever actually stepping foot in the home. So when it comes to marketing the property, it's important to have those digital elements so that you are catering to those buyers who are moving here from out of state and maybe they're not comfortable traveling just yet. So, of course, you need to have marketing where we know the buyers are. We know that 95% of buyers are starting their home search online. We know they're online. We also know from a 2014 study that has not been redone since that 77% of buyers are using social media in their home search. So right there, we know buyers are online. They're on social media. So why in the world would you not market where we know buyers are looking? Like, by not marketing to those people and not marketing properly to those people is basically just kind of leaving yourself with a bit of a hole, right? You're not making sure, because it's always my goal to bring every seller the largest potential buyer pool for their property. And so that means marketing where we know people are looking. They're going to be online. They're going to be on social media. Now, here's the thing. Social media is a business. Like, yes, we may get on it to distract ourselves and to scroll and all that, but social media at the end of the day is a business. And so did you know when you actually post to Facebook or to Instagram, only 3% of your followers are going to see that post. So that's why you have to run these strategic social media campaigns. You've got to boost these properties, boost the marketing for them so that they are actually reaching the maximum amount of potential buyers that are out there, right? So if you come across an agent and they're just like, oh, I do Facebook, make them show you. Make them show you the numbers, the stats. Like, I've got stats that show it reaches like 80,000 people and it's had 200 some odd hours of views. Like, you want those stats that people can show you, not just tell you, because believe me, since the pandemic hit, everybody and their mother is going to be telling you that they market on social media. But there's a way to market on social media, and then there's a right way to market on social media. And I mean, it's kind of like, so think about, say you go to Amazon and you search for a hat, but then you don't buy it. But then you go searching somewhere else on the interwebs, and all of a sudden you start seeing the ads for that hat come up, right? That's keeping top of mind awareness. It's called pixeling. So they've pixeled you. And that is essentially what you're able to do through strategic social media campaigns for property. So when you're marketing a home, you want to get in front of those people, because you know what? Maybe they weren't sure about it, but if that home keeps popping up where they go, they're going to be like, you know what? It's worth a second look. And here's the other thing. 65 to 67% of buyers that tour a home online are actually going to walk through the door. So by making sure that you're marketing and making sure that you have an agent who markets the home properly online, that's going to guarantee that you're getting more foot traffic through the door. And ultimately, in order to get that highest and best, you really want to make sure that you are bringing in the best potential buyers from the best, largest potential buyer pool. So yes, maybe this seems a little jumbled, but essentially, what I'm saying is that when it comes to marketing your home in this day and age, I realize that properly marketing on social media, it may seem like a foreign concept to a lot of people, and it's not easy. It's not the easiest thing in the world to do, but It's what sellers today deserve. And especially, especially when a lot of people are having to operate remotely and they're having to buy virtually, these are the kinds of things that are going to make sure that you are reaching the largest potential buyer pool again in order to get the best, highest, and best for your home. And that's ultimately, maybe you have other goals. Maybe that's not your goal. But if that is your goal, that's one way to achieve it. And again, if we know that people are looking here, like, did you know that only 3% of homes sell from an open house? Only 3%. And that's a stat from the National Association of Realtors Home Buyer and Seller Report. So can you see where if only 3% of people, well, it's 3 to 7, 7% if you go on the 65 and older range at 7%. But, the millennials, which is the largest buying population now, less than 3% of them are going to buy from an open house. When you look at when the National Association of Realtors actually broke down a study that talked about how people find their homes, the number one answer of how people found their homes was online. So if people are finding their homes online, you are doing a disservice to yourself as a seller if you don't have an agent who knows how to market online. And it's more than just like making sure it's on Zillow, but you want to make sure that you are, again, putting your home in the hands of somebody who can make sure that you are getting it seen and showcased to the masses, because ultimately, again, that's just going to drive more traffic in the door. And then it's going to ultimately lead to getting more offers, most likely. Now, of course, I know last week I talked about making sure how you get your home ready for listing photos, which that is critically important. So there are so many pieces of the puzzle. It's like you can't just have a pretty home, but no marketing. And you can't just have marketing but a home that's not show worthy. It's so many pieces of the puzzle that you have to start to put into line that's then going to show you success when it comes to ultimately what you're going to get for your home. It's a multi-step process, and sure, it can seem a little bit tedious, but if you do the work on the front end, it's ultimately going to pay off on the back end of things. So again, if you guys are thinking about selling, if you are thinking about, what kind of agent you want to hire, you do want to make sure, again, because the stats are there. We know where buyers are searching. We know how they're searching. We know where they're finding their homes. So ultimately, it's making sure that you have an agent who can reach those people where we know they are, while also making sure that they cover their bases to make sure that there's no stone unturned anywhere else. So that is my marketing spiel. And again, if you go and watch like $1 Million Listing, or you go and watch Selling Sunset, they talk about the importance of marketing. And so it's not just something that works in big cities. It's something that's an essential part of real estate. So you want to make sure that you have somebody that has the marketing piece in play. So I hope this was helpful. If you ever have any questions about selling, or if you want my guide to showings that sell, please feel free to just shoot me a message, DM me, whatever it is. I will be happy to get that over to you. But I hope that everyone has a fabulous week, and I'll see you next time.